little bit of a struggle last night finding speed early on, was able to transfer into the feature event and did fight his way forward. Eldora has been a good track for him in the past and showing last night going 12th to 5th. Behind the wheel, that number 33M. And, of course, the driver out of Coleman, Alabama, he was just on screen, Kevin Thomas Jr. The Inferno Armor Lynch Machining, Lucas Oil Centers, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, number 3R. Driving for Rocksteady Racing this season. As Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 1 down into the pits, Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2. Remember, you still have time to download Dirt Draft if you have not done so. It is the first and only fantasy racing app where you can compete against fans from all over the world by choosing a team of 5 drivers from each and every USAC event. Based on your driver's results from tonight's event, you will be awarded points, and you can use those for USAC tickets, broadcasts, merchandise, and much, much more. Download the Dirt Draft app or visit dirtdraft.com and use the referral code USAC when signing up to get a free t-shirt. Second flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps on the Speedway of 3. A total of 27 drivers checking in tonight. A couple of drivers getting upside down. Unfortunately, damage too great to continue on this weekend. Mitchell Moles on screen right now. The AME Electrical, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Walker Filtration, Stanton Spike Chassis number 19. Reinbold Underwood Motorsports entry making his way over in the middle of turns 1 and 2. The 2B, Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California. The Honest Abe Roofing, Claxton DRC Chassis, Binnick Enterprises number 2B. Make sure to follow them on Facebook. They've had a nice little storyline going. They name their cars. So they've got Yogi, they've got Barney. I believe Barney's the one on track here tonight. Yogi, they had that car on track at Lawrenceburg on the 27th, and not so much Yogi Bear like, hey, boo-boo, we're talking Yogi Baseball here. So if you know your baseball history. As looking back behind him, they alluded to this during the opening of our broadcast. Had a fantastic run. Max Adams out of Loomis, California. The FG3 Performance Engine, DRC Chassis, Frank Cagurini owned number 63. Brakes going away in the late stages. With the driver, the number 63, the 17 GP on track. Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana, Lifestyle Homes, Michael Ditcher Motorsports, Evan Jackson Racing Engine, Maxim Chassis, Momentum Racing Suspensions, number 17. He rolls to the back straightaway. Drivers begin to wind up here in just a moment as we go into Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2. A couple of more drivers to tell you about on Speedway. On to the back straightaway right now. Brady Bacon in the 69 into Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. The Basil Racefields, Davis Brothers, Dickman Industrial and Electrical Supply, Ryder Power, Triple X Chassis number 69. Rolling into turns 1 and 2. He went to victory lane last night out of Rockland, California. The Suburban Subaru, Donon DRC Chassis, Hinchman Indy, Dragonfly Aviation number 12. That's the madman, Robert Ballou. Robert Ballou in the 12. A pair of wins now on the season. Lawrenceburg on the April 6th. And, of course, last night, picking up his 7th career USAC sprint car victory here at the famed Eldora Speedway. Another driver on track we haven't told you about yet. That is one CJ Leary. Leary in the 15X out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline, Hornbeck Concrete, PGE, Darty Motorsports. One-way power, DRC Chassis number 15X. And looking over the field, seeing if there's anybody else we need to tell you about. And indeed, the Line-X number 1H here hitting the front straightaway right past the flag stand. Corbin Hayslett, the Line-X. Ideal Auto Sales, Myers DRC Chassis number 1H. Rolling down the back straightway now, and I do believe that wraps up everybody here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 2. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. Why choose AMSOIL synthetic lubricants? AMSOIL delivers next-level performance, power, and protection. Built in the lab so you can feel it on the road. Run with us. Visit AMSOIL booth or order at AMSOIL.com. Hey, race fans, it's time to get after it. It's time to grab NOS Energy today or follow them at NOS Energy Drink. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, hot dogs cooked fresh every day. And get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes prepared fresh and made by hand every single day. It's all yours. To find a Cookout location near you, visit cookout.com. Third flight of cars out to the Speedway here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Ryan Barr on screen in the Charger Manufacturing, ComConnect, Medway Tools, Claxton DRC chassis number 21B. Driver from here in Ohio. Rolling past him into frame now. That's going to be Chase Stockin, driving the Bandit Ag LLC, Fisher DRC chassis, Davis Brothers, Superior Truck and Trailer, Amsoil. Dwight beats number 5S, making his way around to the front straightaway. 33 times he has been the quick qualifier in USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship competition. See if he can add one more here tonight. Breaking out the backup car, Justin Grant out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, Boat Foundation, Kistler, Maxim, MPV Express, Top Industries, Pro Source, Indy Custom Stone number 4. Grant leading last night till the right rear started coming apart, and it absolutely thrashed his main car, going as far as breaking the engine plate on that thing. So the crew rebuilding, going through the other car, but deciding they need to go ahead and bring the backup car down to make sure they didn't miss any of the small things, nothing like a 10-cent part getting damaged and taking you out of a running for $10,000. Braxton Cummings on the front straightway, the DR Excavating, Terry Cummins Racing Engine, DRC Chassis, Lucky 7 Technologies, Kindred Spirits, Provision, Revolution Body Works, Cummings Machine Shop, number 71B. Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Boulevard Truck Repair, Ryder Power, DRC Chassis, E. Schneider and Sons Recycling, Apache Transport, Concrete Cutting Systems number 39. Mentioned last night, got his first win of the season out of Bedford with the USAC East Coast. That was on April 26th. A couple of more drivers to tell you about. Just past the flag stand right now. He'll roll into turns 1 and 2. Dason Pursley at Locust Grove, Oklahoma, driving the Apache Transport, one-way DRC Chassis, Amsoil. RSS Industries, Beavers drives number 21AZ, and the 98 on track. That is going to be Saban Bybin. Bybin out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Epoxy Systems International, J&D Chevrolet, Triple X Chassis, Indy Race Parts, Glenn Farms, signs by Trey, number 98. A little bit wide over into turn number 1 as the track's shaping up nicely here for night number 2 of Let's Race 2. Cars making their way by, and so far, C.J. Leary has been the quickest at a 15.629. Mitchell Moles at a 15.865. Max Adams third quick right now with a 15.893. Brady Bacon 15.9 flat, and Jake Swanson at a 15.902 so far, the 5 quickest drivers. As we'll start to rearrange that a little bit. Briggs Danner now going to jump up into the top 3 at a 15.873. As we get a look at the 44, Todd Hobson only had about 4 hours of sleep before the start of last night's racing program, coming all the way from Clyde, Victoria, Australia, jet lag and all. In the Jason Sudret Racing, Drew Fab, one-way DRC chassis number 44. Still overall not a bad run for him as the checker flag drops in our final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. And C.J. Leary holds on to a 15.629 second lap. Justin Grant second quick at 15.770. Mitchell Moles at a 15.865, Briggs Danner 15.873, and Max Adams ends up 5th quick overall at a 15.893 second lap. Honest Abe Roofing qualifying set to get underway here in just a moment. Honest Abe Roofing, America's reliable roofer, will present the Fast Qualifying Award for all 3 USAC National Divisions throughout the 2024 season. Honest Abe has been installing, repairing, and maintaining residential roofs since 2005, and they want to give you the perfect roof to protect your home and keep you comfortable. Honest Abe provides the fastest service in the roofing industry, and they're supporting the fastest qualifiers in USAC competition. Visit honestaberoofing.com today to schedule your free roof inspection. 2 cars at a time, 1 lap to warm up, 2 laps to establish time. Qualifying very important to the format for the United States Auto Club. Of course, once the car finishes, they must weigh 1,350 pounds of minimum weight requirement with the drivers. That'll set up your heat races. Heat races will have a top 6 inversion into each heat race. So with 3 heat races on the card, it'll be an 18-car inversion, Fastest qualifier going to start 6 in heat race number 1. Second fastest will start to the right of row number 3 in heat race number 2, so on and so forth. From the 4th row on back, the cars are lined up straight up based off of their qualifying time. So cars down in the chute, just about ready to go. Working on clearing the back straightaway, the 21. Looks like of Ryan Barr. Coming to a stop, unfortunately, the hook going to be called over to him to get him back down to the trailer, assess damage, and get him ready to go out in qualifying. And he'll have a little bit of time. He is actually the last car scheduled to qualify. Of course, if you want to see the qualifying order, you can make sure to follow the United States Auto Club on social media. That's where you can find all the news, notes, and information throughout the racing program and throughout the week leading up to the night's racing action. You can find USAC Racing online at the official website, usacracing.com. You can also like USAC on Facebook by searching USAC Racing, and also follow them on Twitter and Instagram at USAC Nation. If the phone in your hand is an Apple product, you can follow all the live action at each and every USAC National Division for the 2024 season on the USAC app. Live audio, driver profiles, stories, feature news, facts, figures, and more. The USAC app has it. As here we go, Honest Abe Roofing qualifying will get underway. And the first 2 drivers will make their way out. The first one to hit the clay is going to be the driver to Sutter, California, the Abacus Racing, Indy Custom Stone, Dozers, Nuts and Bolts, Fortech Marketing, Fatheads, MPV Express, Stanton Power, DRC Chassis number 57. That will be Logan Seavey. Seavey in the 57 on track. He will be joined by the driver to Snohomish, Washington, the Routine Racing, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Capstone Plastering, Scott Miller Power, Triple X, Crum Racing number 26. This is Chance Crum. Logan Seavey in the 57 starting his season off with 7 straight podium finishes. Last night, the first time he was not on the podium all season long, ended up with the 11th place run in your feature event. He'll set the bar here at a 15.810 seconds for Logan Seavey. Chance Crum coming around at a 16.392, 163.92 seconds for the driver of the number 26. Seavey coming around lap number 2 better, 15.518, 15.518 seconds for Logan Seavey. Chance Crum will see if he can improve on lap number 2. He does not, 16.469. Lap number 1, 16.392 will be his best attempt. Next driver heading out to the Speedway comes to you out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor, Lynch Machining, Lucas Oil Centers, Rocksteady Racing, Stanton Powered Mach 1 Chassis number 3R. This is Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin Thomas Jr. in the 3R. He will be joined on track by Matt Goodnight. He's out of Winchester, Indiana, driving the Lumber and Things, Palo Builder, Square E Farms, Claxton DRC Chassis number 39G. 21 career feature starts for Goodnight last night. Unfortunately, got tangled up in a crash after Rylan Gray's engine started coming apart. And his night ended in the semi-feature event. Kevin Thomas coming around second quick on lap number 1 at a 15.701. Goodnight third quick at a 16.326. Does he improve on lap number 2? He does on time, not position. 15.643 for Kevin Thomas Jr. Still chasing Logan Seavey's 15.518. 0.125 seconds off of the pace set by the 57. Goodnight lap number 2. Better on time, not position. 16.076. Driver heading out to the Speedway now comes to you out of Littleton, Colorado. Driver the Altos Power Equipment, One-Way Technology, DRC Chassis, BGE, Darty Motorsports, K&K Excavating, Lugs Lawn Care number 15. This will be Carson Garrett. Carson Garrett in the 15. And also on track will be the JPA Masonry, Newman's Power, Triple X Chassis, Amantia Real Estate, Stinger Race Fuels number 88J. This is Joey Amantia. Joey Amantia in the 88J. Last Saturday, Port Royal, USAC East Coast Sprints. He was top of the podium. As they'll come around, lap number 1, Carson Garrett at a 15.989. Puts him third quick right now. Amantia at a 16.389. Trying to find some speed here on lap number 2. Does he have it? Checkered flag going to come out for Garrett. Lap number 2, better on time. Still third, though. 15.864, 15864 seconds for the Littleton, Colorado driver. Amantiel likewise improves on his time. Is still fifth quick, though, at a 16.152. Next two drivers out to the Speedway. We'll find Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avanti window and door. Stanton Mach 1 chassis. Premier Recycling. Apache Transport number 3P. And coming to speed now on the back straightaway, that will be Matt Westfall out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Ray Marshall Motorsports, Gressman, DRC Chassis, Buckeye Machine Fabricators, Hippie Waterwicks Filters, number 33M. Mentioned last year, Westfall was top of the speed charts in qualifying here during Let's Race 2. Last night, 1 second quick, 15.570, 15570. Westfall fifth quick on his first attempt at a 15.901. Led 7 laps last night, ended up losing the lead at the line by 0.016 seconds. He's going to come around lap number 2. Quick time for Kyle Cummins, 15.480, 15480 seconds for the 3P. Westfall better on his time, goes to fourth quick at a 15.823, 15823 seconds for the veteran racer. Rolling on to the bank and working to the back straightaway now. Next driver looking to take time is Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana. Driver of the Air Masters Heating and AC. Diversified Lawn Care. Precision Guttering. Number 24M. Driver joining him on track will be the 87. That is going to be Paul Dews. He's out of Minster, Ohio, driving the CarQuest. Eldora Services. Claxon DRC Chassis number 87. Maddox coming around. His opening lap will be 6th quick at a 15.993. And Dews, his first time around, going to be 9th quick at a 16.342. Ended up in the semi-feature last night behind the wheel of that number 87. As Maddox comes around, lap number 2 better on time, 6th quick at a 15.896. And Dews likewise improving a little bit on his time to a 16.155, still 9th quick. Looking for a little bit of a rebound here tonight. Cross the stripes, 16th in last night's feature event at Greenfield, Indiana. From the Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline, Horbeck Concrete, One-Way DRC, BGE Darty Motorsports number 15X. This is CJ Leary. CJ Leary in the 15. Also on track, Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California. The Honest Abe Roofing, Vinnick Enterprises, Claxon DRC Chassis, 2B Racing number 2B. 17th in last night's feature event 1 year ago. Finished runner-up here in the Let's Race 2 feature event. Quick time for CJ Leary, 15.461, 15461 seconds for the driver of the number 15X. Swanson around the lap number 1 was a 15.801, puts him 5th quick right now. Does Leary have any more in the tank? Checker flag at a drop. He does. 15.286, better and quick time for CJ Leary. Swanson a little bit slower. Lap number 2 is a 15.920, but a new driver atop of the speed charts. CJ Leary, 15.286 seconds. Better by 0.194 for Kyle Cummins, who had a 15.480. Next two drivers on the Speedway, we find the one out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Driver of the Basil Race Fields, Davis Brothers, Dickman Industrial and Electrical Supply, Ryder Triple X Chassis, Telstar Technologies, Fathead, Dynamics Incorporated at 69. It's the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. Bacon in 69 on track. 19th in last night's feature event. Not what Bacon was looking for at all, as he'll come around lap number 1, 6th quick at a 15.811 second lap. Other driver on track, that is Max Adams out of Loomis, California. Driver of the Frankie Guarini-owned Western Speed Racing Z-Max, DRC Chassis FG3 Performance Racing engine number 63. As Bacon comes around, better on time, not position, 15.807, puts him at 7th quick. And Max Adams, better, he was 6th quick. Lap number 2 going to jump him to 5th quick at a 15.785. First time in that car was last night. Unfortunately, lost the brakes. He ended up fading a little bit still. Ended up 3rd for his best career finish with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car Series. Did it from the 9th starting spot. Ended up leading 10 total laps last night, so a good run for the Loomis, California driver. Next two drivers out to the Speedway, the 17 GP, the Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Lifestyle Homes, Griffin's Propane Pro Source entry. That's going to be Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana. And he is joined by the Linex number 1H. That Corbin Hazlett out of Troy, Ohio, the Linex Myers DRC Ideal Auto Sales entry. 14th quick for Jaden Rogers, line number 1 at a 16.287. Hazlett coming around to take that spot away, though, at a 16.162. So 14th and 15th on the grid right now. Working bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Finds a throttle, exit of the 4th turn. Better jumps to 12th quick at a 16.093 second lap. And Hazlett going to follow him to 13th quick at a 16.128. So a little bit of improvement on lap number 2 for both drivers. Out to the Speedway now with 7 career USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car victories here at the Eldora Speedway. Out of Rockland, California, driver of the Suburban Subaru, Deaton's Waterfront Services, Bex Western Telecom, Hinchman Indy, Dragonfly Aviation, Factory Kane, Dunn on DRC chassis number 12. Hits the madman, Robert Ballou. Ballou at speed to the front straightaway. Again, the margin of victory, 0.016 seconds last night for the madman. As he pulled the Kessel run off the exit of turn number 4, and he definitely beat it by 12 parsecs to get that win as they're going to work through turns 3 and 4. We'll see how he does on lap number 1. The other driver on track is Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. As Ballou, lap number 1 will be 16 quick at a 16.328. Moles in the AME Electrical, Messiah Valley Transportation, Indy Race Parts entry. Going to go 4th quick in lap number 1 at a 15.607. Ballou looking for some speed here in lap number 2. Does he have it? He does. 6th quick for Ballou, 15.770. And Moles a little bit slower, lap number 2 at a 15.667. Next driver onto the Speedway. Started off great, unfortunately ended up not so well as the right rear came apart and absolutely gutted the rear end on that thing. They had to bring down the backup car. That's Justin Grant out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, Bow Foundation, Kistler Maxim, Indy Custom Stone, Pro Source, Top Industries, number 4. After all was said and done, unfortunately, ended up 22nd last night, ended up leading 9 laps in that feature event. As he'll come around lap number 1, 4th quick at a 15.552. Other driver on track is the 23, Bryce Dews, the O'Reilly Machine Tool Services, Donut Spike Chassis, Napa, Bryan, Ohio, number 23D. As Graham Better, lap number 2 at a 15.506, jump him to 3rd quick. And the 23D of Dews at a 16.785 on lap number 2 was better than lap number 1. That was a 16.789, so a 16.783 on lap number 2. For the driver of the number 23D, 20 drivers have taken time so far. Everybody's still chasing C.J. Leary. His lap time was a 15.286. Kyle Cummins currently 2nd quick at a 15.480. As the driver streaking down the front straightaway is Chase Stockton out of Fort Branch, Indiana. Driving the Bandit Ag LLC, Fisher DRC Chassis, KO Motorsports, Ted Brown Qualities Paint and Body, number 5S. Also on track, that is a 39 of Briggs Danner. Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driving the Boulevard Truck Repair Rider, DRC Chassis, number 39. Line number 1 for the 5 is 7th quick at a 15.684. Danner coming around 8th quick at a 15.758. Both drivers look for a little bit more speed here in lap number 2 to stalk and have it off of turn number 4. He does on time, not position, 15.656, still 7th quick. Danner on the throttle. Again, better on time, still remains 8th quick at a 15.754. So driver rolling out to the Speedway comes to us out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma. Driving the Apache Transport One-Way Technologies Power DRC Chassis, Oakcraft Elegant Cabinetry, Western Diversified, Team Arizona Racing number 21AZ. This is Dason Pursley. Dason Pursley in the 21AZ. He is joined by the Aussie, Todd Hobson, out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia. Driving the Drew Fab Electric Works, Nero Power. Jason Surgeon Racing number 44. Caution. Things cleared up and back in the green flag conditions. Pursley coming around lap number 1. We'll see where he lands. He will go to 5th quick in the number 21 AZ. 5 times a winner so far this season, all in micro competition. 17th quick for Hobson right now at a 16.006. Pursley, lap number 2, a little bit slower, 15.732 seconds. Still 5th quick on the grid, as we have only a couple of more cars left to qualify. Out to the Speedway now, the driver out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Epoxy Systems International, Glen Farms Indy Race Parts. Signs by Trey, XXX number 98. This is Sabin Bybin. Sabin Bybin in the 98, the 2020 Lawrenceburg Speedway Rookie of the Year. 5 years of racing behind the wheel of an on-wing sprint car, ended up 24th in last night's feature event. He'll come around on lap number 1. The number 98 is 20th quick right now. The other driver on track, that is a 71B of Braxton Cummings out of Bedford, Indiana. The DR Excavating Lucky 7 Technologies, number 71. Bringing a home-built engine across the line. A little bit slower in lap number 2 at a 16.333 for Bybin. The 71B is 24th quick at a 16.299. So Sabin Bybin bringing a home-built engine, builds it in his family's own garage.
Let's race 2 for the World Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. I'm John Gibson, and here at the Eldora Speedway this evening.
So with that, that will wrap up our Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. In tonight's quick qualifier with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Cars, comes to you out of Greenfield, Indiana. Driving the Altos Power Equipment, One-Way Technologies, DRC chassis number 15X. Race fans, give him a hand, C.J. Leary. 15.286 seconds was the time turned by Leary. 15.480 for Kyle Cummins. Justin Granted to 15.506. Logan Seavey 15.518. Jason Pursley at a 15.571. Rounds out your top 5 quickest drivers in qualifying here on night number 2 of Let's Race 2. A 4-time quick qualifier, now a 5-time quick qualifier here at Eldora, as we'll send it down trackside.
Thank you so much, Brian. C.J. Leary going to pick up an Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifying Award after what was a tumultuous night, to say the least, last night. I think we covered the thrashing in the pit area, but it doesn't end there. What happens when you get home and you have to recover from that? What does that recovery to today, sitting in quick time, look like?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we thrashed all night, and then, you know, when the race is over, we got 2 cars to load up. We get back to the shop after an hour-and-a-half drive home, and sulking a little bit, and, you know, we got 2 cars to wash, and, you know, we switched a couple motors around, and I felt like we got our best piece here, and obviously we were good in qualifying last night. I probably jumped the gun a little bit too early. I started walking up here, and then KT beat me, so I waited till the last second to come up here tonight. But no, I think we got a good BG Daughtery Motorsports 15X. I can't thank Zach, Amos, Adam, my dad, Fred, just everybody that came to the shop last night and put in some time at the shop. You know, it's muchly appreciated. All of our sponsors for keeping us out here, running up and down the road, and just looking forward to a good night at Eldora. You know, I love this place, and last night was definitely not a testimony to how good we are actually here.
Quick time last night was a 16.1, quick time tonight of 15.2. So we're nearly a second faster tonight than we were last night. What are some of those major differences you're seeing?
Yeah, for sure. The racetrack's just a lot better tonight. Honestly, I figured we would be on the fence tonight, which we were a little bit in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 was still through the middle. So I don't know what's changed a little bit, but it seems like the top's not that great right now. I think the bottom has to wear out for it to come around like it did last night. So we'll watch the Outlaws run here and make some changes, and hopefully we'll end a lot better tonight.
Much better start indeed for C.J. Leary, who is your Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier for night number 2 of Let's Race 2 at Eldora Speedway.
Thank you very much. Tonight is also round 2 of the Bubby Jones Master of Going Faster. The 2024 USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship season contains a 10-race series within a series held in memory of one of the all-time series greats. The third edition of the Bubby Jones Racing Master of Going Faster, presented by Spire Sports and Entertainment series, will encompass 10 events on the USAC National Sprint Car schedule this season in honor of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame driver and crew chief. This is round 2. Round 1, Logan Seavey picked it up down at Volusia Speedway Park. Round 2 tonight. Round 3 will be held at Terre Haute. That'll be on May 21st. Knoxville Raceway on June 1st. Williams Grove Speedway on June 14th. Port Royal on the 15th. Kokomo Speedway on July 27th. September 14th at Tri-State Speedway. And then September 21st here back at Eldora. And it rounds out at Lawrenceburg on October 12th. Leading the points, of course, Logan Seavey. Kyle Cummins currently second. C.J. Leary, Kevin Thomas Jr., and Carson Garrett currently the top 5. And, of course, apparel for the Bubby Jones Master of Going Faster, presented by Spire Sports and Entertainment. You can find that if you go to usacgear.com. All the race winners also going to sign a cowboy hat, and that'll be raffled off. So make sure and check all that out at usacgear.com. As just about get ready to go with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. With that, we're going to step aside and turn things over to John Gibson and Dirt Vision.
First of 5 practice sessions staying in the infield for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. 33 cars joining us for the finale.
On Sunday, these banks are open. It's high speed, high bravery, and high drama at the world's fastest half mile of Winchester Speedway. The big, bad, brave, and bold drivers of the USAC Silver Crown National Championship return to the Eastern Indiana Speed Plant for the Rich Vogler Classic on Sunday, May 5th. Gates open at 10 a.m. Eastern with cars on track at noon and racing beginning at 1 before concluding with a 100-lap main event. Kids age 12 and under are free and reserve tickets are on sale now. Tickets ordered online receive $5 off at EliteRacingPromotions.com. It's your only chance to witness open wheel racing at Winchester this year as 140-mile-per-hour open wheel cars blitz the high banks on Sunday, May 5th. It's big thrills on the hills. Don't miss it.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Car IQ Pay allows people to pay for all vehicle expenses without a credit card or a fuel card. As an all-in-one payment solution, Car IQ Pay takes care of every step of the fueling journey, from station routing to payment and fraud prevention to simplification to back-end reconciliations. Drivers can find the nearest fuel station right on the app's fuel map, or even filter locations based on their preferred merchant or fuel type. It's seamless. Just a quick enter of the pump number and you're ready to fuel up. Car IQ Pay generates an automatic virtual receipt that enters into a single transaction ledger, giving fleet operators a complete simplified view of their total spend. What's even more, Car IQ Pay gathers vehicle data to give fleets complete transparency into their fleet, from route behavior to overall share of wallet. Car IQ, the better way for fleets to pay. Find out more at gocariq.com.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country, or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
Are you looking for a new race car hauler, trailer, or easy-go golf cart? What about something dependable? How about buying from someone you can depend on? Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts. They're a certified Featherlight dealer with all kinds of trailers and other products to fit your needs. Located just 2 hours north of downtown Indianapolis, Elliott's Custom Trailers will deliver your trailer or cart anywhere in the United States. No matter where you're from or what you're looking for, the goal is always the same: ultimate customer satisfaction. So don't wait. Contact Elliott's today and find a trailer or golf cart that fits your needs.
help someone today, Daddy?
Yeah, kiddo. We did.
Race fans, use code RACE for 10% off of a full roof replacement from our executive collection.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Here at Honda Off-Road Factory Racing, we use Steel It.
It's hard to contain your excitement when you get something you've really wanted. Like the gold standard in automotive protection, WeatherTech floor liners. With deep sculpted channels and laser measured for total protection in the front, back, and even up the sides.
Dad, you're going viral.
What? WeatherTech me.
So don't be shy, enjoy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
And welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing, getting a live look here at Eldora Speedway, night number 2 of Let's Race 2. And, of course, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars on track right now. And, as always, Let's Race 2 is also the tale of Let's Race 2 streams, as Dirt Vision, the exclusive provider of the World of Outlaws, FloRacing, the exclusive provider of the United States Auto Clubs. So having to jump back and forth a little bit here as qualifying wrapping up. And going pretty smooth. As we'll bring the graphic up here in a little bit and go over where everybody qualified here tonight. Of course, C.J. Leary, and I misspoke, actually. It is his 6th overall USAC's AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship quick qualifying time during Honest Abe Roofing at a 15.286. Kyle Cummins was second quick at a 15.480. Justin Grant ended up 3rd quick. Logan Seavey 4th quick. Dason Pursley ended up 5th quick. Mitchell Moles was 6th quick. Kevin Thomas Jr. 7th. Chase Stock in 8th. Robert Ballou 9th. And Briggs Danner ended up running at the top 10. Ballou, what a night he had last night. Of course, everything kind of going wrong to begin with and then going right at the end. So good run for him. He puts himself about mid-pack in qualifying. Max Adams last night, his first time behind the wheel of that Frankie Guarino number 63. Led laps, unfortunately. The brakes going away on him, so he did fall back. Still managed a 3rd-place finish, so not bad despite not having brakes on the track. You wouldn't think you would need a whole lot of brakes at, but it's amazing how much they actually use the brakes here at Eldora. Jake Swanson, 12th quick. Brady Bacon, 13th. Matt Westfall, 14th. Carson Garrett, 15th. Hunter Maddox, 16th. Todd Hobson, the Aussie, ends up 17th. Matt Goodnight was 18th. Saban Bybin was 19th. And Jaden Rogers ended up 20th quick. Corbin Hayslett in the 1H ended up 21st. Joey Amantia ended up 22nd. Paul Dews, 23rd. Braxton Cummings, 24th. Chance Crum, 25th. Bryce Dews and Ryan Barr in the 21B. Problems during hot laps sidelining him, so not able to make it out for qualifying, as I do believe Drake down trackside has something for us.
The rear end on the 21B locked up. You can see right behind me, they're going to have to swap out the rear end that was in the car, and they're going to have to put in a brand new rear end and hopefully make the call for their heat race, and a couple other teams jumping in to help the fray on the 21B.
Thank you very much, Drake. And pretty much right on cue, talking about how he had problems in hot laps. And there you see the culprit as they thrash feverishly on that car, trying to get him out for heat race competition. So again, qualifying for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint cars are going to be coming up here in just a little bit as they roll through their hot lap session. Losing a couple of cars tonight. At 32, we ended up with 27 tonight. A couple of cars getting upside down during last night's Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. It started when Rylan Gray actually started losing an engine, tried to get up, kind of get out of the way. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get there fast enough. Collected 3 other drivers in the process, and certainly by no means is the fault of Rylan. Just kind of riding along as the engine let go, and unfortunately, everybody just getting stacked up behind him. So 4 drivers end up absent here tonight, but nevertheless 27 absolutely fantastic cars on hand here for night number 2 of Let's Race 2 at Eldora Speedway, the 9th edition of this doubleheader featuring the Wingless Warriors of the United States Auto Club and the Winged Warriors of the World of Outlaws. So we'll pop down to Drake off and on here during this. We'll also have some interviews that we have prepared throughout the weekend. I know we shot a few yesterday. We shot a few more today. Drake's been going around doing that. As right now, I do believe as the Outlaws go back to green in their hot lap session, we're going to roll into a quick break. You are watching Let's Race 2 on FloRacing at Eldora Speedway.
It's a Southern Indiana showcase on Friday night, May 10th. The USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship goes full tilt at Bloomington Speedway. The red clay takes center stage as 900 horses power around the racy quarter mile at the running of the Larry Rice Classic, honoring the 3-time USAC National Champ. Another USAC champ, CJ Leary, has his mind set on defending his victory from 2023. It's open at 4 Eastern, front gates at 5, and cars on track at 6:30. Let the red clay fly on Friday, May 10th. We'll see you in B-Town.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
That's pretty nice. So Dason personally coming home 5th in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, and it's a good start to the day, Dason, and obviously Eldora Speedway not so kind to you last night. Can you kind of walk us through what happened? You were the 3rd car in the work area at one time. What do you feel like was kind of the root cause of that?
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to tell, right? It's hard to pinpoint exactly, what happened, or if it was Hoosier's fault, or if it was whatever the case may be. But I was talking to Justin and Brady, and they all kind of had the same similar, vibration and stuff going on that I was having kind of around the same time, which is very, very weird, I feel like. So yeah, at the end of the day, our tire just delaminated, and it was a really, really weird deal that, 3 out of the top, 10 or so guys, I guess, all had it done at the same time. So just unfortunate circumstances, because I felt like the 21AZ was really, really fast, and was definitely just kind of trying to mind my own time and just make as, good, consistent, clean laps the first couple of laps, and then really try to pounce on it at the end. But we just never got the opportunity to wait till the end to really pounce. So yeah, just unfortunate, to end our night like that. But nonetheless, I feel like the 21AZ has a lot of speed, and hopefully we can showcase that here tonight.
And it kind of seems like that's been the story of your season so far. You've kind of just been minding your own business. I don't feel like we've seen anything huge out of you, and I mean that in both both good and bad, right? So it just seems like you've kind of had a season that's been clean and straightforward so far. And do you feel like there's a turning point for that in a way that becomes more aggressive, and obviously that can go either way when it does come?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like you described it, I think it's just a very mellow year to start off, which is good and bad. You feel like you have the speed to win, but you just haven't been able to click off a win or a podium or a good result, to say the least. So I think we've had plenty of good opportunities to showcase that. We just have to put a whole night together, and I feel like I've usually not been so great at qualifying, which now I'm qualifying really good, and then I'm heat racing, where I'm in the transfer spot and can transfer out of it, and now it just comes down to the feature time, where I feel like I'm starting up front and then just never get the job done, or never really seal the deal. So I think tonight we just got to put a whole night together and get through this heat race, and then hopefully find a good starting spot in the feature and keep this thing up front.
And when you look forward to, obviously we're still in the early stages, but I feel like we say it every year, like we always think we're getting ahead of ourselves talking about points, but it sneaks up on you, right? And the early races are really important for it, and it seems like we're talking about it too early, but it's never really too early. And so last night being one of those days where it can really sting, right, to have to come to the work area, start back at the tail, especially when you were going to have a really good finish. But when almost everybody else who's in contention for a championship, with the exception of a couple, have to do it too, does it sting a little bit less?
It does sting a little bit less, but then you can also look at it as like, you've seen Logan have to come to the work area early on, then you see Justin, have a right retire, and then of course CJ had to go to the backup car, so he was already starting back there, and those are kind of the 4 or 5 people that are ahead of you in points. So you're thinking that if you just finish up front, you're going to have a really good result come championship standing times. But then yes, it does sting a little bit less when you realize that all those same people, of course, had the same problems as you did. So there's both sides. I think you can look at it, and there's good things and then there's bad things that come from it as well. So it is what it is, and that's why we love this sport called racing.
Teaming up with Team AZ this year, and it seems like it's been going pretty well so far. Can you kind of explain what that progress or what that process has looked like?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the 21AZ have, they've been established for a long time now with Jake, and, they moved out here and started running on the national scene with USAC and have really hit on all cylinders. I felt like they've, nonetheless been a car to beat each and every time they've hit the racetrack, and I feel like they have a really, really good package, and then it helps me, being still new to non-wing sprint car racing, to come in and just kind of, drive the car, not have to worry about the setup or anything like that. I just get to come in and, learn every time I hit the racetrack, and know that the cars is one of the better ones on the racetrack. So it's just up to kind of my job to get it done. So it takes a lot of stress off of me, and just get to worry about, going out there and driving it and making sure I'm doing my job. So yeah, the car has been phenomenal, and the group of people that have been around it, Craig, Michael, and Eric, and Wendy, and everyone that's a part of that thing is just phenomenal to be around, and they really welcome me with open arms for sure.
So I was talking to CJ about it during his Honest Day Briefing Fast Time interview, and he said that we're almost a second faster tonight in qualifying than we were last night. And so he was saying that the racetrack's a lot better tonight, but I feel like that's such a relative term, and it's everybody that you talk to, you're going to get a different answer out of. And I know that the same was true for last night. Some people really loved it. Some people really didn't. So where are you at on if the racetrack is better tonight, or if it's the same, or where it's headed?
Yeah, I definitely think, anytime you hear Eldora, it's big and fast, and I think we definitely got that tonight with the speeds and the lap times that we're all putting down tonight. I think the track just has a lot more moisture in it, per se, and yesterday it kind of just didn't. I don't know if the rain chances, scared them away, or what that may be, but definitely a lot more moisture in it tonight, and I think it's going to put on a really, really good race. I think you've seen in qualifying that the track really didn't change too much. I went out late and, set down a pretty good lap, and so did Justin. So I think the track is definitely there, and definitely there for the wing cars as well too, it sounds like. So yeah, nonetheless, I think this thing's going to widen out like true Eldora fashion, and we're going to be putting on a really good show again here.
Yeah, so qualified 5th, and we were talking before we were live about that. You were pretty excited about that because if all goes as planned, that means you're on the front row of the main event tonight. So do you anticipate track position being pretty important?
Yeah, definitely. I think with the talent level and everyone that's in on-wing sprint car racing right now, your track position is definitely key. So the good guys are still going to get to the front eventually, but it makes your job a lot less stressful if you're on the front row or starting up front. So yeah, qualified 5th. So hopefully this heat race goes good and we can all transfer out of that and I can start front row outside and have a good, clean 30 laps and see if we can find ourselves on the front stretch here later tonight.
Jason Persley seeking what would be his first win with the AMSL USAC National Sprint Car Series on the 2024 season here for tonight for Let's Race 2 at Eldora Speedway.
Thank you very much, Christy, and checking in with the drivers throughout the night. One of the things we're trying this year, instead of just replaying old races and kind of rehashing old information, is getting a chance to go down and talk with the drivers, and, of course, Eldora with that absolutely exquisite infield center, giving us a place and a chance to really focus on that. As we've gone over the qualifying rundown, let's go ahead and jump on over to USAC on Twitter. Of course, you can follow along at USAC Nation and get a look at what's going on over there right now as we're going to check out our heat race lineups. Again, 27 drivers checking in tonight. 3 heat race formats tonight, so the top 6 and each going to advance on. It's an 18-car inversion. If you're wondering how the heat races work at a qualifying, here you go. Your fastest qualifier lines up to the right of row number 3 in heat race number 1. Second fastest goes to 6 in heat race number 2. Third fastest, you get the drift, goes to the right of row number 3 in heat race number 3. You restack, you go to the inside of that row. That's where you're going to find your 4th fastest, 5th, 6th, so on and so forth, all until you get up to the very front rows. From the 4th row back, it's all lined up straight up by times. So qualifying, very important to seeding the heat race. And, of course, the top 6 going to move on. And your qualifying time, it sticks with you throughout the night. So that's where qualifying, really important. You're able to carry that on with you, and it does better you throughout the night, the better you do. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. Yeah, I was looking at heat race number 1, and, of course, a lot of great talent. Hunter Maddox ends up putting himself on the pole. That one, Brady Bacon going to line up next to him. Robert Ballou, and last night, engine laid down. Thought he had another engine laying down once they got that rectified. Came out for the main, finally had things going. Pretty much had to go front to back on the fuel system and kind of redo and replace everything and get it where it needed to be. And obviously we saw the run he had off of the final turn to get the win. Kevin Thomas Jr. going to line up next to him. Seavey and Leary making up number 3 in heat race number 1. Jaden Rogers, Joey Amantia, and Chance Crum all find themselves in the opening. Simpson Race Products heat race number 1. Ronda Supply heat race number 2. The Aussie, Todd Hobson, ends up on the pole that one. Matt Westfall going to line up next to him. Max Adams out of Loomis, California. Max, that was the first time he'd ever been behind the wheel. That Frankie Guarini owned number 63 last night. I actually thought he had raced that car with Frankie a couple of times, but I was mistaken. He confirmed it today with Richie that was, in fact, the first time they had been behind the wheel of that car. Chase Stockton going to line up next to him. Jason Persley and Kyle Cummins going to make up row number 3. Saban Bybin and Paul Dews going to make up row number 4. Row 5, Bryce Dews all by his lonesome. Looking to TJ Ford's heat race number 3, Matt Goodnight, the Winchester, Indiana driver, going to line up on the pole. Carson Garrett going to line up next to him. Jake Swanson went to victory lane last week with the Midwest Thunder 410 Series, the non-wing group. And Briggs Danner going to line up outside of him. Of course, last week he got the win out in Pennsylvania. That was on Friday night with the USAC East Coast Series out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mitchell Moles out of Raisin City, California. Justin Grant out of Ione, California, going to make up number 3. Grant leading. The right rear started coming apart, and that vibration for the right rear coming apart broke the shock, then it broke the ladder, then it kind of broke everything else, and finally the rear end was flopping around to that thing just as violently as you could imagine. And they brought the car in, went through it, and decided to go ahead and bring the spare car down. They went through the primary car, put it all back together, but they want to get it back to the shop, go through, because something as simple as a part in the mag getting shook loose, and maybe you don't catch it now, but you go out, you're doing good in the main, all of a sudden that part lets go. You've let a 10-cent part take you to $10,000. So the crew playing on the smart side, bringing the backup car down so they can go through and reevaluate and make sure everything's good on that other car. Because you have to understand, the car was vibrating and shaking around so hard that it broke the motor plate. So there the concern is, well, did it knock the main bearings out of the engine? So that's something that they definitely want to take a look at. Corbin Haslett and Braxton Cummings in row number 4. And Ryan Barr, you saw earlier, Drake went down there with an update. We'll see if maybe we can get him down there and get another update on that, as they were thrashing to get the rear end swapped out in that number 21B. Of course, we'll have the heat races coming up here in just a little bit. Qualifying still underway with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Get a look and see where they are at on their qualifying right now. Looks like they've had 33 cars check in, and they have had 18 cars take time so far. Of course, you can follow along with everything happening with the United States Auto Club and the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. USACRacing.com is where you want to go. Of course, at USAC Nation on Twitter and Instagram. You can look up USAC Racing on Facebook. Follow along there as well. Of course, USAC Gear, they have their own Facebook page, and they post all kinds of great content and gear that's coming up. Stuff that's about to be available is available, and you can get online and purchase that as well. Mentioned earlier, before we turn things back over to Dirt Vision, that tonight is part of the Bubby Jones Master of Going Faster, presented by Spire Sports and Entertainment, and that is a 10-race series within a series. We started that off at Volusia. This is round 2 here tonight, as we'll get to that in just a little bit, as I do believe we're going to go ahead and send it down to Drake with another update.
And Matt, I know you weren't exactly happy with the performance you had in qualifying, and the motor may have had something to do with that. What can you tell us?
We just, ever since Florida, it just don't seem like we can. The motor just don't run to its full potential. So we're swapping mags out to see if that's a problem. If not, we'll switch motors. But we're working hard at it, and hopefully we can get better here later tonight.
So what exactly are you struggling with? Is it a power issue, RPM issue? What exactly are you chasing?
It just ain't turning no RPM, so I don't know if it's a mag just not giving the spark to make it run good, you know, and I don't know, just off a little bit. We'll get it figured out and go.
Matt Westfall and the 33M team trying to get things in tip-top condition as they prepare for their heat race later this evening.
Thank you very much, Drake. And engine woes have been kind of the theme this weekend. We've seen several drivers having to swap power plants, and fortunately, driver of the 33M, the latest to do so. So talking about the Bubby Jones Master of Going Faster, presented by Spire Sports and Entertainment, we kick things off at Volusia. Round 2 tonight, Terre Haute, May 21st, going to be the next round. June 1st at Knoxville during the Corbin Bell Clash, and then we go out to Williams Grove Speedway in Mechanicsburg for June 14th, June 15th at Port Royal. June 27th, Kokomo, September 14th at Tri-State at Hobstadt, Eldora, September 21st, and Lawrenceburg Speedway on October 12th is the final race of that. And it's $2,500 to the owner, $2,500 to the driver. So not a bad way for the team to score an extra $5,000. So you can keep up on all that. Of course, Richie Murray, who is head of USAC Media, does a great job of posting updates, stats, notes, stories, and more. Or excuse me, not the owner, the winning crew chief, my apologies. It is the driving champion and the winning crew chief collecting that $2,500 bonus. And it's a total of a little $10,000 point fund that goes into that. So make sure and keep it locked at USACRacing.com for more information on that, as qualifying with the Outlaws into the later stages now. 24 drivers so far have taken time out of 33. As right now we're going to go into a brief break, and when we come back, hopefully, it's opening ceremonies and racing action here on night number 2 of Let's Race 2. It'll be Cummins down to the bottom. Robert Ballou going to give it hell on the outside. Lights the Hines off of turn number 4. Can he get there? Too close to call. Yes, he does. Robert Ballou gets it in 12. So real quick, going to check in with a pair of drivers who brought the world to their feet in a way, as they proved that Silver Crown cars can be driven like midgets in a way. Joining me now, we got CJ Leary and Kevin Thomas Jr. And guys, we're going to go back and forth here on this. And first off, kind of talk about your background in Silver Crown racing and the progression of when this race happened. Obviously talking about 4 Crown Nationals 2018 and your career leading up to that.
Oh, yeah. I think I ran my first Silver Crown season in 2015 or 16, a full schedule on dirt and pavement with 6R racing, and got my feet wet a little bit. Something I was always super interested in. My dad was his talent was Silver Crown racing on the pavement side of things. So that was something I wanted to do. I really wanted to win the Hoosier 100, and that didn't pan out for us with it going away. But getting to come to Eldora has always been, something really special. A lot of respect for this place. It's has a lot of history behind it. So to be able to win a sprint car race here and a Silver Crown race is pretty special.
Mine's not a lot of experience, to be honest. I didn't really start racing Silver Crown cars till I think 2018. I may have dabbled in a couple of them, but I got the opportunity to run the Foxco car that year, and obviously you don't say no to that. That's a pretty prestigious car to be in, and Galen was still around then, and it was a joy to work with those guys and kind of put your name in a hat of people that are legendary that have ran that car too. So back to the 2018 race, it was just I've actually ran second to everybody, it feels like, in a Silver Crown car, and that was obviously the same exact experience that I had there, but it was a good race between me and CJ.
I mentioned where somebody drove a Silver Crown car more like a midget, and that would be you, obviously banking off the wall, where you drove it really more like a Silver Crown car, very straight, right through the middle. The second half of that race is where things go absolutely crazy. There's actually 3 of you in that battle. You've got Cottle in the mix as well. He kind of fades back a little bit. Then it comes down to you two. And you guys are trading slides going after each other. And we'll fast forward to the last 5 laps. You actually get by. You're still pounding the fence. Take us through that final, kind of leading up to those final 5 laps and those last 5 laps, where your mindset was and just what you were hoping for and shooting for with the lines you were running respectively.
Well, probably if you look at about halfway, that's when we really start kind of battling and getting to our defined lines. Obviously, I knew CJ was going to be running around the top as he does, and I don't. So I had to figure out another way to be fast, and I want to say I started 9th, and I kind of used that line to get there, and then starting at halfway, I feel like we were pretty much where we were going to run, and it was going to be who could battle each other out at their preferred lines. So at times I would get runs on him and even pass him, but his momentum would get built back up, and he was running the ragged edge. So there's times that he messed up and I could squeak by. I was obviously in a much safer line, to be consistent. But I feel like his car and his maybe not car. I feel like our car was pretty fast, but I'm just a sissy and won't run the top. So it might have been the fastest car ever, but I have no idea. So I stuck to the middle and just tried to be consistent and stay there. I felt like I could get off a 2 really well. Coming off a 4, I didn't feel as good, and that's where he would really eat my lunch, is coming off a 4. And at the end of the day, he put together 5 perfect laps there at the end and won. So but we raced, and we have raced for a long time, and we rarely touch. We rarely even put each other in bad positions. So he's a friend of mine, so we have raced respectful forever, and that was just a showcase of pretty much dang near our whole career.
Yeah, I agree, honestly, with almost everything he said there. About halfway, really started to burn off some of the fuel load and, start to figure out how good our car was. We had some engine troubles in qualifying, and I think we started in the 4th row or something, 8th or something like that. And, we kind of picked our way through the field. And honestly, I probably gave that race away 3, 4, 10 times. I think we bent everything on the car that night and pretty much was just winning or wear at those last 5 laps. I think probably being a spectator was really, really cool. Driving it was, like I said, it was hectic. Not your typical Silver Crown style, but KT hit it around the head. Anybody else, it could have been disastrous racing, someone that close. And KT's always been super clean with me, and I race guys the same way they race me. So that's Silver Crown racing in general, is respect, and I think a lot of racing forums lack that. So it was really cool to race really close with someone for 50 laps and to have a good finish, and it wasn't a guy wearing someone out for the checkered flag.
You don't race these cars like this. It was said multiple times throughout the race, and they proved, no, this is exactly how you race these cars. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me here for the interview to get a little bit of background. Good luck tonight.
Chatting with Jaden Rogers, former National Rookie of the Year and the winningest non-wing sprint car driver in Indiana the last couple of years. And Jaden, that alone has been great. And I feel like the fans have really enjoyed getting to know you and getting to watch you race over the last couple of years, but some may not know some of your background. So tell us, when did you first start racing in, how old you, and where was it at?
I was 5. My dad was running stock cars in Linton, Indiana, and we had an opportunity to get in a free quarter midget ride. So I ran that for a year, and that kind of just snowballed. Every couple years, we just moved up through the ranks.
You mentioned your dad being a stock car driver. That's what's really fascinating about me and a couple others about your career choice. Why did you decide to not go the stock car route and go to open wheel?
I think it was just the quarter midget thing, and then the next one was junior sprints, which was open wheel also, and then I got into a micro, which they also raced there where my dad raced. So once we started getting serious, started winning a little bit, my dad kind of, hung up his hat and decided to go, all out for me. So he's worked very hard to get me where I am.
The micro stuff went very well for you over the course of your career. How long did you stay in the micro ranks, and where did you race at a bunch, and how long did you stay down there?
We weren't there very long. The restrictor car we did very good in, and we kind of ran a half and half chassis. It was Cleveland Ridgeway, all coilover, so something odd, not very known for micro racing, and we were pretty good, just not very good on heavy racetracks, and we didn't really have great motors. So it came to the point where that Linton, Indiana track was shutting down, and we were going to have to, we only had Peru and Logansport, Indiana, which was 3 hours from us. So we decided that was the year they were going to run 305s at Bloomington. So I went and got a racing auto sports emancipation just for this, and we went 305 racing for the year.
The emancipation thing is something we don't hear about as much of anymore. I feel like everybody started hearing that word with Jeff Gordon and then CJ Leary, and then yourself is the next person to come along with that word with all the legal process and stuff. So if you could just give us a little bit of a crash course of how all that stuff works when you're so young.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like basically they told us that I was too young to race unless I had it. So I was 13 or something like that, trying to get in a sprint car. And, I'm just this little chubby kid that everybody probably thought my dad was insane for putting me in a race car. But it went pretty smoothly. We ended up taking, we raced 305s for the first quarter of the season, and we did all year. But then we kind of got the itch to go race more, and we weren't going 3 hours to run the micro. So we took the wings off, and we ran at Paragon and Putnamville, and basically just ran around the bottom and had a lot of pretty good success for running 305. So just, once it got slick, we could contend and we could pass some cars, and it was pretty good. So after that, we decided that we need to get a motor, we need to go 410 racing, and this is where it led. I always just wanted to go faster. That's all I always ever wanted. So I get comfortable in something, and I'm like, it's time to go, time to move up. So this isn't something that you ever just get, the want for more speed. They have plenty of power, and so I was kind of learning on my own or whatever other drivers had taught me, and same thing with setup in the race car. It's not the same as a micro or a stock car, obviously. So all that stuff combined, it just took us a good couple years to figure out.
Let's fast forward now. You're, as I said a few times, multiple-time non-wing sprint car winner in the state of Indiana. You're a USAC winner. Is it still crazy to you a little bit how far along you've come from that kid you said that just wanted to go faster and faster to then learning how to control that speed and eventually putting race wins together, and now you're going to have a chance to go one more time on USAC National Tour? Is that still all crazy to you?
Yeah, it's really crazy. But like I said, all of it is kudos to my dad, how hard he worked, and not that I haven't worked hard for what I got, but he's really the one that's whenever I was young, that worked his butt off, long hours, and then we'd turn around on the weekends and we'd be driving 3 hours to a racetrack there and 3 hours back, so 6 hours round trip. So it's pretty cool to see where I am now, and one thing I never get tired of is winning. Obviously, there's a lot of people that don't get tired of winning, but I feel like a lot of these guys, they start winning so many races, they stop getting excited. It's just crazy to see where I was in those multiple years not winning a race. We weren't used to that. We won a lot of races before that, so When I finally started winning sprint car races, it don't matter if it's was an MSCS show or a local show, or finally when I got that first USAC win. It's just that feeling is just crazy to me, and what we came from, it just makes it even more special.
Well, Jaden, we're really excited for this opportunity you got with Michael Dutcher Motorsports to chase the full 2024 Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car season. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
for open wheel sprint car lovers. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. To welcome you to Eldora Speedway, I would love to introduce you to Miss Eldora, Savannah, and Abby. So one of us has to change. You have to wear red if you want to stand on the stage. Savannah, where can they find you tonight?
We are all over social media. Every single platform is at Eldora Speedway. We'll be walking around saying hello to everyone, so make sure to find us and take a picture with us.
Thank you, Savannah and Abby. Miss Eldora, always looking lovely here on stage. And we are going to get our opening ceremony started with Mr. Mike Unger, who will be sharing our invocation. If you would please stand as you're able.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for another day you've given us. And we just ask you to be with everybody here, all the fans, the drivers, the crews, keep everybody safe. And Lord, we ask you to be with the first responders and also with the men and women who have fought and are still fighting to give us the freedom to be here doing what we all love to do with the racing, Lord. And just continue to be with us. We give you all the glory for everything that's happening here. All this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please remain standing as Peyton Lair will sing our national anthem. Eldora Speedway, are you ready to race two? One more time, Eldora Speedway, let's race two. Brian, we're ready for you.
Thank you very much. Fireballs, fireworks, hot dogs, and cold beer. Doesn't get more American than that. So once again, we'd like to welcome everybody to Eldora Speedway. Let's Race 2, featuring the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship, along with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. 27 drivers checking in for USAC competition. That'll break down into 3 heat races. Again, 8 laps, top 6 cars averted in each heat race based off their qualifying results. So it is a 18-car inversion going to 3 heat races. Fastest qualifiers starting 6 in heat race number 1, 6 in heat race number 2 for the next fastest, so on and so forth. Everybody from the 4th row back lined up straight up based off their qualifying times. Cars will fire out to the Eldora Speedway as we get things underway here tonight. Let's give you the starting lineup in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Driver on the poles out of Bedford, Indiana, driving the Air Masters Heating and AC, Bob Cummins Power, DRC chassis number 24M. It's going to be Hunter Maddox. Lining up next to him, you'll find Brady Bacon out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, driving the Basil Race Fuels. Dickman Industrial and Electrical Supply, Ryder XXX Chassis, Davis Brothers, number 69. Next row for the inside, last night's feature winner out of Rockland, California, the Suburban Subaru, Donna DRC Chassis, Dragonfly Aviation, Hitchman India, number 12. It's going to be the Madman of Robert Ballou. And outside of him in 3, Kevin Thomas Jr. out of Coleman, Alabama, the Inferno Armor Lynch Machining, Lucas Oil Centers, Stanton Powered Mach 1 Chassis, number 3R. Next row from the inside, 5th starting spot, that'll be Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California, the Abacus Racing, Indy Custom Stones, Stanton DRC Chassis, MPV Express, number 57. And lining up to his right in 15, that will be C.J. Leary, tonight's quick qualifier out of Greenfield, Indiana, the Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline, one-way DRC Chassis, number 15X, picking up his 3rd quick qualifying time of the season. The 17 GP, Jaden Rogers out of Worthington, Indiana, in this one as well. He'll go for the inside of row number 4. Driving the Lifestyle Homes, Michael Dutcher Motorsports, Evan Jackson, Maxim Chassis, number 17. And next to him, at Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, Joey Amantia, the JPA Masonry, Newman's Triple X Chassis, number 88J. And your final starter set to be the Crum Racing, Rodine Racing, Scott Baylor Power, Triple X Chassis, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Cards, Capstone Plastering, number 26. That is Chance Crum. As that'll be your lineup in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 of 3 tonight. Rana Supply bringing you Heat Race number 2, and TJ Forge in Heat Race number 3. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Brian.
You're obviously a lot healthier than me. I would still be struggling for breath.
Oh, I teleported.
Perfect. I knew you had powers.
May the 4th be with you.
Yes. Thought our quick qualifier made the Kessel run. It was you. And for anybody that may be in the stands, that, whether man, woman, Wookiee, we don't care. So field lined up behind the pace truck down the front straightaway. Again, it is Maddox, Bacon, row number 1, Ballou, Thomas, row number 2, CV Leary, row number 3, Rogers, Amantia, row number 4, Crum, all by himself for row number 5. Pace truck. Lights will go off. The caution lights around the track will click off. And we're set to go 8 times around. Top 6 going to advance on directly into your feature event. Everybody else into the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event.
And we do take 6 out of this one, but man, this is a stacked heat race, Brian.
It is. Just even off of the front row, Maddox, a lot of experience. One of the local drivers. He's really given the national guys a run for their money every time he's been on track this season. Of course, Brady Bacon, a multi-time winner here at Eldora. To his outside, they find the throttle at the NOS Energy start can, and we're underway here in heat race number 1.
So Brady Bacon got a really good run around the top side of the racetrack there, which I don't know if I was expecting given what we saw yesterday.
I was going to say, outside, yeah, maybe not quite there at the start tonight. It is. Last night, he had to be on the bottom to really get a run there. Is Robert Ballou going to go up top shelf? We saw him use the top side last night. Never tell him the odds on it because he got it by 0.016 seconds. They'll bolt to the back straightaway. Bacon leading Ballou. Maddox holds on to that 3rd spot. They are side by side into turns 3 and 4, right behind them.
So top 6 kind of beginning to pull away there from Joey Amantia, who is sitting in 7th. CJ Leary on the bubble bringing up that 6th position.
So right now, Kevin Thomas Jr. holds on to the 4th spot. Logan Seavey in 5th. CJ Leary holds on to the final transfer spot. So going back to qualifying time, as long as you're in those 6 transferring spots, you know, you're pretty much good to go going forward as Brady Bacon. He's on a mission right now. Trying to get this done in less than 12 parsecs. He'll work to the back straightaway, leading 1.056 seconds right now. Ballou still sitting in that 2nd spot, working top shelf right in the tire tracks of the 69. Maddox still running in 3rd. He might have some company here. The Inferno Armor entry, Kevin Thomas Jr. closes up to within about a car length.
And Brady Bacon, I imagine, pretty desperate for this Simpson Race Products heat race number 1 win, as his qualifying effort wasn't exactly what he was looking for, but so far, so good for the 69.
Brady Bacon coming in this weekend, new sponsor on the side of that machine as we've got problems. Leary slow on the front straightaway in the BGE Darty Motorsports number 15X. The force is no longer strong with that car.
Yeah, so that's heartbreak there, as you were mentioning earlier. As long as you transfer out of the heat race, you do get your qualifying time back. So that would have guaranteed CJ a 6th place starting position in the feature event had he transferred out of this one, but it looks like there are bigger problems than that.
It looks like he's going to be able to make it. He's going to bypass the entrance there on the back straightaway, so not quite sure what is going on with the 15X. We'll see if he is able to make it down into the Indian finishing work area. There is no guaranteed time in the heat race. In the main event, you do have 60 seconds. That goes away in the later stages of that main, though, so the crew having to thrash no matter what, as looks like he will bring it down.
So they're not sure what's wrong with it just yet, but they're going to get an idea here.
And we'll see if Drake is down and can get a report from the work area.
Well, the 15X was running down in the Indy Metal finishing work area, but work now going on the motor as they peel the bonnet off the 15X of CJ Leary. Looks like a throttle linkage broke here. Chuck Leary, Amos going to work on the throttle linkage. As I said, the car was running, so the motor seems to be intact except that throttle linkage. And once again, no guaranteed time here in the Indy Metal finishing work area during heat races as the hood goes back on.
And the field about ready to go back to green. Bacon leading Ballou in 2nd, Maddox in 3rd, Thomas in 4th, Seavey in 5th. Leary had been running in 6th, Amantia back into a transfer spot. They work past the NOS Energy start cannon. Here comes Robert Ballou.
Got a really good dig there on the bottom side of the racetrack. I don't think Brady Bacon saw that one coming quite yet.
Looked down and went, oh my. He's going to get on the hammer and on the throttle, and he's going to hold on to the race lead. Ballou running that 2nd spot. Side by side once again around to the front straightaway. Seavey in the 57. Going after the 3 of Kevin Thomas Jr. Thomas going after the 24 of Maddox. Nobody able to make up any time. Those who work onto the back straightaway. Seavey going to change things up. Peaks it down to the bottom. Does he have anything working that inside line? Running the Dale Blaney line here. As they come around this time to the white flag flying. We got 1 to go.
Joey Amantia inheriting that 6th place transfer position, which is great for him. The 88 going to make it into this feature event, assuming we get through this final lap here.
Final 2 turns of competition here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Robert Ballou going to try the inside. Bacon, though, going to sizzle outside. He's going to pick up the heat race win. Ooh, something going on Bacon's car. The rear end just started shuddering.
We saw that quite a few times last night throughout feature event competition, especially notably with the 4 of Justin Grant, where that rear end did take a beating after the tire had some issues.
Not sure if that was just him getting on the brakes or something more nefarious, so we'll try to see if we can get an update on that. Well, the driver crossing in third is Hunter Maddox, and second, Robert Ballou. But race fans, your winner to Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, piloting the Dickman Industrial and Electrical Supply, Telstar Technologies, Fatheads Eyewear number 69. Give him a hand, Brady Bacon.
And you guys were right. There is a right rear problem. Some delamination on the right rear for the Macho Man, Brady Bacon. And Christy had mentioned it. Last night we did see some tire issues in the feature event. Brady, the right rear is pretty delaminated. Did you have any indication on the final couple laps that it was maybe going away on you?
Yeah, it just started vibrating really bad. Apparently the tires they sold us a month ago are now insufficient. So unfortunately we're stuck with the ones we had, but hopefully one of the new style ones is better and we can actually have a race tonight with all the fast guys finishing.
Brady Bacon collects his 4th heat race win on the season here tonight at Let's Race 2 and Simpson Race Products heat race number 1.
Oh, yeah, getting a look at that right rear, and not good.
Yeah, that'll cause you some problems. And so I will say, Brian, the one silver lining for CJ Leary, which I am constantly trying to provide, is that there are only 3 heat races tonight, and as he is your Honest Abe Roofing Fast qualifier, he would, if he had transferred out of the heat race, he would start in that 6th position. However, he did not, and so he'll go to the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. Assuming he transfers out of that and they get that car fixed and squared away, then we do have one less heat race winner position being taken up, since we do have one less heat race tonight.
Well, it'll make it easier because the front row is reserved for the fastest qualifying non-transfers.
That's right.
So that's going to put him in a little bit better situation there. Here we go. Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2 out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia. The Drew fan, number 44, Todd Hobson on the front row of this one. He'll lead him down to the drop of the green flag. Next to him, Matt Westfall out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Ray Marshall Motorsports number 33. And remember, engine problems for him. Drake reported on that a little while ago. Max Adams of Loomis, California. The Z-Max. Gorini O, number 63, inside of your second row. Next to him in 5. That is going to be Chase Stockin out of Fort Branch, Indiana. The Bandit Ag entry. The 21 AZ, Dason Pursley out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma. The Apache Transport, one-way DRC number 21. He'll go for the inside of row number 3. Outside of him, the 3P. That is going to be Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana. The Avanti Winnow and Door entry. The 98 of Sabin Bybent out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Inside of row number 4. The 87 of Paul Dews out of Mr. Ohio. And the 23D of Bryce Dews out of Russia, Ohio. Set to round out your lineup. Everybody can make the call 8 times around against 6 drivers. Set to move on. Coming around to the NOS Energy start can up at turn number 4. Good start. We go to green.
Chase Stockin going to look around the outside of the front row. Not going to quite get it done just yet as Todd Hobson and Matt Westfall hang on.
Westfall going to hold on to that top spot as they work to the back straightaway. 1 year ago, he was a quick qualifier. Eldora has been a pretty good track for him over the years. He kind of dug himself into a hole last night, still brought it up to a top 5 finish. As he'll lead lap number 1, Stockin working around that inside line, throws the slide up across the racetrack. He's got it for the 44 Todd Hobson. Hobson going to come back out from the inside. Does he have the run, though, into turns 3 and 4? Yes, he does. He's going to drive her in deep, let her slide wide. They're going to switch lines around to the front straightaway. While that's going on, ooh, look out. Could have put a piece of paper between the right rear and the left front as Hobson going to bounce her around. And, oh, man, the 3 hard on the binders. They're trying to crash. They almost did it about 4 times, but somehow they avoid it.
Dason Pursley going to get right in the mix there, not afraid to mix it up. He's going to get 1 position over Kyle Cummins and move forward just a bit.
Trying to avoid the carbon eye here because it's going to be a very cold night if you end up there. So everybody continuing on. It's going to be Matt Westfall at the front of this one. He could have some company, though. The Bandit Ag number 5, a Stockin, trails him by just over 0.3 of a second. Now he is peeking that inside. He was only a couple of car lengths back, but Westfall going to get a good run to the back straightaway. And problems for the 44, slowing rapidly on the backstretch as they work into turns 3 and 4.
Seems like everybody else avoids him. We'll see if he makes it down to the work area before we have to throw the yellow, and he will do so.
Yes, he makes it down to the Indy Metal finishing work area. As this time by, 2 to go. White flag coming next time around. And boy, Westfall, he had all kinds of company from Chase Stockin just a lap ago. Now Stockin trailing by over a second. As Westfall going to jump to hyperdrive in this one.
So Kyle Cummins and Dason Pursley seeming to enter just one line higher than what Matt Westfall and Chase Stockin are. Not entirely sure if they're making up any ground on them just yet, but in the longer run, that might make a big difference.
Searching around on the racetrack here as we work the final lap in Broad Supply Heat Race number 2. Leader going to work it at turn 3 off of turn number 4. Had to wait on the car a little bit, but nobody close enough to capitalize. Gets the job done. Matt Westfall in 33. Chase Stockin crossing in second. Kyle Cummins, Dason Pursley, Max Adams, Saban Bybit, Paul Dews, Bryce Dews, and Todd Hobson. Unfortunately, a DNF in heat race number 2. So third going to Kyle Cummins, second to Chase Stockin, but your winners out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio. The Ray Marshall Motorsports, Cressman DRC Chassis, Hippie Water, Wicks Filters, number 33. I'm race fans. Give him a hand, Matt Westfall. Westfall picks up the win. Stockin at second, Cummins in third. Pursley, Adams, Bybent, Paul Dews, Bryce Dews, and Todd Hobson. Unofficially rounding out your field in Rada Supply Heat Race number 2. So 2 in, 1 more heat race to go, and 6 more drivers to advance on into the feature event. So 18 going to go straight into the feature. Everybody else going to go into that Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. A quick burp of the throttle, and he's going to catch up with Drake York here in just a moment.
Thank you so much, Brian. And if we were looking for somebody to elect as Mr. Eldora, Matt Westfall may be a good candidate. The 2015 late model champion and 2014 modified champion here at the Big E. He's collected a sprint car win here back in 2006, and he's come close to a win in the Silver Crown Series a couple of times. Matt, you and I talked after qualifying, and you told me you were not happy with this motor, and you guys done all sorts of changes. Have you found something that works now?
I think the mag was bad, actually. Just wasn't turning the RPMs there. We actually turned some RPMs, and it felt like it had some speed, so we'll see how it goes in the feature, but it feels a lot better now.
Matt Westfall, even with the rough motor situation, has been off to a good start this week. He finished 5th here last night.
Thank you very much, Drake. TJ Ford's heat race number 3, and I have to apologize. I was informed it is Rushi, Ohio.
And I wouldn't guess that, so that's fair.
I was lied to earlier.
You're doing your best.
Well, I know about 3 different towns that are spelled Miami, and they're all said something different. We have a Miami, Oklahoma. No, it's spelled Miami.
You would never know.
Yeah.
You would never know.
I'm just a goofy kid from New Mexico. I don't know what's going on here. So here we go. Lineup for TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Matt Goodnight. He's out of Winchester, Indiana. The Lumber and Things. Pala Billers, number 39G, going to be in the pole. This one outside of him out of Littleton, Colorado. The 15. It's going to be Carson Garrett. The Altos Power Equipment, one-way powered. Number 15. Next row from the inside. Wheel and Barney tonight. The Honest Abe Roofing. Claxton DRC number 2B. It's going to be Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California. Outside of him, going to be Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Boulevard Truck Repair. Ryder DRC Chassis number 39. Mitchell Moles, the 19AZ, inside of the next row, the AME Electrical Mesilla Valley Transportation entry. Moles out of Raisin City, California. And outside of him is going to be Justin Grant of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Kistler Maxim Top Industries, number 4. The 1H, Corbin Hayslit, the 71B of Braxton Cummings, and the 21B of Ryan Barr. Able to get the rear end swapped out in that one. He'll make the call for TJ Ford's heat race number 3 as we go to green. 3 wide for the top spot. Who's going to have it? Trying to split right up to the middle. Does he have a good night going? Maybe. He's going to fall to third, though. Look at this on the inside. Going to drive it in deep up the racetrack. Goes to 39 of Danner, but it's going to be the 15 showing the way on lap number 1. Ooh, my. Carson Garrett putting on a show in this one.
So Jake Swanson in that early mix kind of backed out. I think it was for the best to avoid getting mixed up in something that he didn't want to be involved in.
Just about got thrown in the blender, like you said, doing the smart thing and going and backing off. Wasn't sure if that was dust or smoke off of the 4 of Grant there for a second.
Looked a little bit like white smoke to me, but it could just be some oil burn off. We're still seeing some.
It is. You're right. It is a little bit of white smoke kind of coming off of the engine, not out of the engine right now. That's the good thing. So it's kind of spitting down on the header. Again, that is the backup car. The other one got shook to death last night after the right rear tire came apart. As he'll ride in that third spot, it is Carson Garrett leading Briggs Danner in second. Justin Grant trying to reel him in and take that spot away. Jake Swanson right now running in fourth. Matt Goodnight back to fifth. Mitchell Moles currently sitting in the final transfer spot. Moles and Swanson had a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action there in the opening lap. And they were able to separate, get away, and have some fun here as Goodnight and Moles go at it. Both drivers sitting in transfer spots, but Moles trying to get a little bit of insurance here as we go back into the battle for second. Justin Grant work on the outside, going to take it away.
Justin Grant crossing his fingers, his toes, all of his phalanges to try and make things go a lot better tonight than they did yesterday.
Up into the second spot, trailing Carson Garrett right now by 1.613 seconds. They cross the stripe. 2 laps remaining this time. Next time around, white flags coming in this one. Garrett, Grant, Danner, Swanson, Moles, Goodnight. Those are your transferring drivers. Haslick, Cummings, Barr. Rounding out your running order currently as your leader is going to come around this time. A white flag in the air one more time around in TJ Ford's heat race number 3.
A lot higher on the racetrack in turns 3 and 4 than they are in 1 and 2. We're about sort of halfway up the middle of the racetrack in 1 and 2, and the top on 3 and 4 up against the wall. So Carson Garrett going to bring it to the checkered flag coming out of turn number 4. Carson Garrett going to pick up TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Justin Grant 2nd. Briggs Danner 3rd, Jake Swanson 4th, Mitchell Moles 5th, and Matt Goodnight going to bring home your final transfer position in 6th. Corbin Haslick, Braxton Cummings, and Ryan Barr going to head to the Elliott's Custom Trails and Karts semi-feature event.
So the top 3 drivers, Briggs Danner crossing in 3rd, Justin Grant in 2nd, and your winner in that one in 15. Driver coming to you out of Littleton, Colorado, the Altos Power Equipment, BG Darty Motorsports, K&K Excavator number 15. Race fans, give him a hand, Carson Garrett. So Garrett picks up the win. Justin Grant in 2nd, Briggs Danner in 3rd, Jake Swanson in 4th, Mitchell Moles in 5th, Matt Goodnight, Corbin Haslitt, Braxton Cummings, and Ryan Barr. And officially rounding out your field as Carson going to go ahead and make his way around. He will head down into the push-off lane, where he is going to get a word in with Drake York here in just a moment.
Carson Garrett collecting his 2nd heat race win on the 2024 AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car season here in TJ Forge and Car IQ heat race number 3. Carson, you were being flanked from all sides in the early stages of that race, and then once you cleared Briggs Danner, it seemed like you were just able to drive away from the rest of the field. Did the car get better as the race went on?
To be honest, I thought it got a little worse. The track got a little slicker and more technical. I feel like towards the end of the race, I lost a little drive coming off of 2, and honestly, I thought somebody was going to catch up a little bit, and beginning of the race was better for me, but just super happy to pick that up. We needed it. We kind of struggled. CJ has had some bad luck, and just to do this for our team makes it all a little bit more better.
A big win for the BG Daugherty Motorsports entry of Carson Garrett as he collects the final heat race win of the night here at Eldora Speedway.
Thank you very much, Drake. And with that, we're going to step away from the FloRacing broadcast with the United States Auto Club and turn things over to John Gibson in Dirt Vision.
We're in a class track state of mind. The USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship shoots southbound to Hopstad, Indiana's Tri-State Speedway for the Spring Showdown on Saturday, May 11th. Two-time and defending series champion Justin Grant leads a stellar field into the event of which he swept from start to finish 1 year ago. Bids open at 3 Central, front gates at 4, and cars on track at 6. For more info, visit USACRacing.com. Spring into USAC Sprint Car action on Saturday, May 11th. USAC is hitting the road to Tri-State.
Car IQ Pay allows people to pay for all vehicle expenses without a credit card or a fuel card. As an all-in-one payment solution, Car IQ Pay takes care of every step of the fueling journey, from station routing to payment and fraud prevention to simplification to back-end reconciliations. Drivers can find the nearest fuel station right on the app's fuel map, or even filter locations based on their preferred merchant or fuel type. It's seamless. Just a quick enter of the pump number and you're ready to fuel up. Car IQ Pay generates an automatic virtual receipt that enters into a single transaction ledger, giving fleet operators a complete simplified view of their total spend. What's even more, Car IQ Pay gathers vehicle data to give fleets complete transparency into their fleet, from route behavior to overall share of wallet. Car IQ, the better way for fleets to pay. Find out more at gocariq.com.
Honest Abe Roofing is America's favorite roofing company.
They took the time to discuss all of our needs.
I couldn't be happier with my new roof.
The best part? They came in under budget.
Honest Abe Roofing helped us with their easy payment solutions, and now we can make low payments on the roof that we actually wanted.
I guarantee you'll get the best price for your roof. That's what my ironclad lowest investment guarantee is all about.
Race fans, use code RACE for 10% off of a full roof replacement from our executive collection.
Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
We have a Max Pappas Innovations MPI Rookie of the Year, and that's Gavin Miller. Of rookies of this race, of the people who have never run this race until this very day, he is the highest.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.